Namaste, my beautiful queens, mostly queens. There will be no cards. You see, I'm saying it right away. There will be no cards in this video. So if you just want me just to do the cards in the videos, then you don't have to watch that. I will try to make it short. The thing is that, of course, women of all ages, all upbringings, all levels of status, all colors of skin, all women who had been through so much, still the main question remains: how do you know if you are dealing with a good man? I will give you a very simple method of how to know if you are dealing with a real true man. Of course, there are tons of books written, there are tons of videos filmed, but only when you already start dealing with a wrong guy, that's when you start trying to search for answers. Of course, the main main truths you have to understand, several of those main truths, is that your childhood experience usually reflects your relationship with opposite sex. Well, if you are a boy whose mother was unfortunately cold or narcissistic, which is not very often, not a case very often, but happens, then the chance is huge you are going to grow up and either you're gonna turn into a narc, because narcs are created by childhood traumas, unfortunately, or you are going to get yourself a partner which is going to be reflection of the mother who was cold towards you and emotionally closed because she had her own wounds. So usually what happens, my beautiful queens, your childhood experience, what you had seen in front of you while growing up, this is especially important for those of you who do have children and they are in abusive, toxic relationship with men, but somehow they hope that their daughters are gonna grow up and have a better destiny. You have to understand very simple truth. If you are in abusive, toxic, humiliating relationship, then that's what your daughters and your children are going to absorb, whether they want it or not. It's just how it happens. And when they grow up, this is the biggest issue, that we reflect our wounds in the partners which we find. This is why, as insane and painful it sounds, unfortunately, that the partners like this, they show us our inner wounds, because they, particularly what they do, they, as we Slavic people say, they put salt on our wounds and make those wounds more painful. And when we are achieve already the rock bottom, then we start getting up, because they usually what are childhood traumas connected with, they are connected with being even treated cold or being abused emotionally, physically, and psychologically, and we are growing in this environment. Those wounds, they don't go anywhere, and then what happens, we don't realize, because the root of the problems in being with wrong men, you know how it called running on the rakes. So you get yourself one abusive partner, you get hurt, you somehow get the strength to get out of it, and you recover little by little, get back to life, and then you find yourself another replica of the one previous one, and you get hurt again. Why it happens? Because you did not address those childhood traumas. You did not put your time and efforts and everything in you towards yourself. The biggest mistake is we are hoping and dreaming to find the partner which will somehow be kind and wonderful enough to heal our own wounds. The problem is this is not possible because those wounds in us can only be healed with us when we turn from outward inside of ourselves. Please check Luna and Soul website. I'm actually gonna put because they have lots of workshops for childhood traumas under this video. I'm gonna put their link. Amazing people, amazing work they do, which is free. So of course, my beautiful queens, like, look how it works. If you were watching your mother being treated wrong by your father, you grow up and you get yourself a replica of your father. If your father was treating you wrong, if your father was treating you as an empty space, he was either physically never there for you or emotionally never there for you, because this is a big problem. For a girl, a father is her first man. In what meaning? Means that if the father treats this girl as a princess, as a treasure, this is how she grows up, having high self-esteem, self-value, self-respect, because her father was treating her as the way he wants her to be treated when she grows up. Of course, in such cases, it is rather rarely happens when this woman grows up and find herself an abuser, because she will not take no abuse, because her father was bringing her up believing you are my queen, you are my princess, and I don't mind to go to prison if I have to deal with some asshole, forgive my language, whoever treats you wrong. But if the father was treating you as an empty space, then you grow up and you find yourself an abusive partner, emotionally close or unavailable. Girls, the 99.9% reason of third-party relationship is a girl who was with a father who was either absent completely there in her life, she did never have a father, or a father who came very seldom, or who was there but he wanted, for example, a boy, and he treated her like she didn't exist. So he was emotional and physical and emotional and spiritually unavailable. So such a girl grows up into a grown-up woman and gets into third party, because in third party this man is gonna be unavailable. He's only gonna appear in her life whenever he wants to raise his self-esteem at her expense, or just have fun, or spend some time away from his family, just for some spice and some, to get his psycho-emotional, sexual fulfillment from his mistress, and he goes back home to his wife. And that girl stays just the way when she was little, she was dreaming of her father to come and stay with her forever. The same way she's now waiting for that guy to come and stay with her forever, whether he's third party or he's simply unavailable. Narcissist, you get yourself narcissist who uses the method of manipulation of appear, disappear, hot, cold, carrot, stick, further, closer, all the dark method of manipulation, which I have already explained to you in my other videos. So your childhood traumas, your childhood experience, unfortunately, is being moved into your relationship with men when you grow up. It's always have those roots there. So of course, knowing it, those toxic men, they are a horrific experience for us, but at the same time they make us face that fact that you have to ask yourself constantly, why am I staying in this toxic relationship when I'm being lied to, manipulated, cheated on? And be very honest with yourself. Okay, why am I agreeing to this? And then ask this question and answer 5 times, and you will see that why goes all the way back to your relationship with your parents, or your relationship with a father, specifically if you are a girl. Okay, so of course there are tons of books, am I dealing with the right man, but I promise to give you one simple method how you know if you are dealing with the right man. I have already told you, actions is everything. Love is never words. Girls, you have to write it on the wall. Love is never words, whether said words or written words. And of course, I showed you this book already. He's not that interested. He's just passing time. Why this is so amazing, I already made a video about it. It's very thin. It's very little. It's very cheap. And it gives you very specific things which you have to look at. For example, 21. He has unreasonably high standards and expectations for the woman he dates. Well, he doesn't give her nothing back. More often than not, he threatens to leave you whenever you are in the middle of a relationship conflict. So he just gives you all of this little, specific number 12, number 13 things to know you are with the wrong guy. Very cheap, available for $0 on Kindle if you have Amazon account. So the thing is that such books, they save lives. But I will tell you one little thing how to know if you are dealing with the right man. Very simple. You tell him you need help, or you simply describe him a situation which clearly shows him that you need help. For example, he calls you, or he texts you, or you text him and you call him saying, felt a little weak, a little sick, got some fever, waiting for seeing a doctor in emergency room. This is just an example. And you see his reaction. Or you won't believe what happened. They cut off my electric power. I was supposed to get paid 2 days ago, but my employee said there was an issue with the paycheck, so I only gonna be paid on Friday, but today I had to pay my electric bill and I don't have electricity anymore. A real man, please hear me. Aren't you guys tired of being mistreated? Why do you allow it to happen? Why? So, a real man, if he's real good man and he's really interested in you, whenever you're gonna mention any trouble, excuse my phone, whenever you mention any trouble or any distress, that man is gonna, you don't have to even ask him, but if you want just to make sure is that bad as it turns out to be, you can mention specific thing. You don't have to ask. A real man who is real, who is compassionate, who is interested in you, who has true feelings to you, he will drive 5 hours. He will be there and he will come and help you. Girls, this is as simple test as that. Very simple test. You just let this man you want a check, let him know that you are in some trouble. And if it's a real man, the kind of a man you want to spend your life with, or even years with, he's gonna be there. I will give you a very simple example of my own, the father of my kids. You know that I have 2 sons, Alexander and Tommy. He calls, honey, what's up? And my voice is like this. And he has to drive almost 6 hours from Miami-Dade County where he works here to the more further to the state of Florida. It's 5-6 hours from where he lives of a drive. It's very hard drive from there. And honey, what's up? Say, oh, and we already have children. We already know each other for 20 years. I say, you know, everything is fine, hon. Everything is all right. But my voice is like this. And he's like, what's going on with the voice? No, honey, don't worry. Just I have this allergies, which is feeling like a flu. But it's like twice a year I have it. So don't worry about it. What happens? And this is about 8 p.m. 8, 9, 10, 11... 12, 1, 2, 2 a.m. in the morning, I hear the knock on the door. He left everything. He drove all the way just to be sure I am all right. That I'm not trying to hide that something is serious with me. And I'm not trying to hide it just to make him feel fine so he wouldn't worry. I didn't ask him, please come, I don't feel well. I didn't complain, I said, don't worry, honey, it's just, that's a regular thing. But he cares so much that he will come just to make sure. The same with me. Honey, what's going on? I'm fine. Honey, what's going on? I'm all right, but I just been this. I don't believe that he's fine because he can do these things to me as well, so I don't worry. This time I jump in a car and drive all the way there. I must be sure that he is all right. I must be sure everything is fine. When you deeply care and you would do it for him, and you would do it for your neighbor, and you would do it for your friend. If you care for someone, and that someone needs help, you're gonna be there. So, even if it's such a situation when I get a phone call from a friend of mine, and she wants to borrow $250, something like this. That's her electric bill. And she's a single mother. And she says, I need to borrow $250 to pay electric bill because they're going to cut it off. The thing is that she had her air conditioner collapsed in summertime in Florida. And she had to give all her money she had to fix that. And now she has no money to pay electric bill. And I happen to not have this money. I tell her, give me a couple hours. I will call you back. So I go and borrow this money. There is called M. Scott. It's like a called money store. So you can take $200 or $250. You have to give them back a month later, but it's 25% interest. So I go and I take that money and I get this money to her. I don't tell her where I got the money. The most important is this is my friend. She needs help and I need to help. It doesn't matter how I find the resources. I have to help her. I will deal with it later. When you care deeply for someone, you are gonna be there for that person. So take any situation which will show your men that you need help, and watch. My car, because I already gave this advice to so many women, and it's sad, you know. She the guy calls her, he wants to see her, and she tells him that her car broke, so she cannot drive to him. And it's so funny. He wants her to cook, bake something, cook something, get in a car, come to his place, you know, feed him, entertain him, have sex with him, and go back home. So she said that her car broke and she cannot get to him. He told her just take Uber or take a taxi or take Uber. He wouldn't even want to come himself. So the situation which shows your guy that you have some distress, and see how he's gonna behave, or ask him for help straight. Listen, you know what, the thing is that after the hurricane, my roof was damaged. And in order to fix that roof, I had to give my entire paycheck. So I would like to invite you to my place tonight. But, you know, my fridge has one egg and one dried out piece of cheese. So I am afraid I won't be able to treat you with dinner. And see how the man who is good, the man who is interested in you, the man who cares, he's going to be there in 10 minutes with 17 bags of groceries for you. This is a real man. But if he's going to tell you this, oh, I am sure things are going to get better. You know what it means? Come back to me when you are fine. You know things are gonna get better, or you are a big girl, you know how to deal with it. Or you just lost your job. You're out of money. You're out of job. You're out of everything. And then some bill comes and you tell him, you know, I am in such and such situation. And he tells you, I'm sure you'll be able to find another job. You're smart. Any of these excuses he gives you, but does nothing, does no actions. Girls, this man is worse than a rat. A man who cares for you will be there for you. No matter what, whether you lost your car keys and can't open the car, whether you are out of money and out of food, whether you are, you know, I know a woman who divorced her husband of 22 years of very unhappy marriage. You know what was the last straw? She was in a hospital. She had a surgery. She was in a hospital for 3 weeks. He never came and visited her, told her he was busy at work. This was the last straw. You can stay with a beast like this in a marriage. If you tell your boyfriend or a guy you're thinking about, I am in emergency room, and he doesn't answer nothing, or he answers you, you're gonna be all right, or don't worry, I am sure you're gonna be fine, it's worse than a rat. I know a woman who had heart surgery, and the guy didn't do nothing. Nothing, no actions at all. What it shows you, it's worse than a rat. It shows you he's only there for you for fun thing, 3 of Cups. He will come when you sat at table with food you just cooked and candles and wearing sexy lingerie. He will come and give you mercy of his presence. He's gonna have sex with you, eat the food you just cooked, fulfill his need for sexual satisfaction, self-esteem, fun, playing games, so on. But God's forbid, you might need him to move a finger for you, and he's gonna either be gone, or he's gonna say he didn't receive your messages or phone calls, or he's gonna tell you, oh, you're a good girl, you're a strong woman, you're gonna be all right. The bottom line is, if you wanna check, is this man worth of any of your time? Let him know somehow that you need help. Either tell him straight, I need your help, please, can you? Or as simple as this, a girl was moving from one apartment to another, to a smaller one, because she couldn't afford that one she used to live. As much as she asked him to help her move the furniture because she couldn't freaking move a refrigerator by herself, vanished. He vanished, then he said he didn't receive her messages. As much as just freaking coming and help her move the boxes, the same floor, apartment, from one apartment, as much as that, wouldn't even move his finger. If you're dealing with a man who wouldn't even move his finger for you, why you need a man like this? If you're dealing with a man who only has you in his life in order to satisfy his needs, why you need a man like this? Why? What for? He's gonna dump you if you have a flu. He's gonna dump you if you break your leg and not gonna be able to serve him. He's gonna dump you when you are out of money or out of resources or you need any help. He's gonna dump you by any reasons which will not let you serve his majesty fully, at your full capacity. Why? So as simple as that, if you have a man in your life, whenever you just started to date, or you're dating for a while, or maybe you living together, or something, you want to check what kind of man you are with. Are you wasting your time, or this is having any future? You tell him straight, or you just describe him a situation which shows him clearly you need help. And if he's gonna be gone and giving you excuses and be gone, or simply be gone, then please make this man be gone out of your life. You're wasting your time on a parasite. Narcissist is a parasite because he needs you while you have a resource. I have already made enough videos like this. So you got the message. You want to check and see who you're dealing with? Describe him a situation in which clearly shows him you need help. Is he gonna be there for you? Is he gonna support you? Is he gonna be willing to give it all to make you feel better or get you out of this stressful situation? This man is worth of your time, feelings, and emotions. If not, this is clear. If he's not going to be there for you for little things, he's not going to be there for you for big things. He'll better find himself another resource, and he'll be with her as long as she is supplying him the food, either for his ego, his career, or his whatever he's using her for. This, my beautiful queens, what I wanted to tell you today. And I hope that some of you have heard me. Please remember, the woman was obsessed with, I rather you be obsessed with self-respect, self-love, and self-acceptance. Cultivate it in yourself. I'd rather you cultivate self-love up to ridiculous level than you're being abused, used, humiliated, disrespected, devalued, losing years of your life, and sometimes losing entire life, the whole life. Then you are 70, you're looking back, and you can barely count on your one hand the days you were happy. Do you want this to happen? Do you want at the age of 70, 80, looking back and realize you've never lived? You've never been happy? You never felt like a real woman? You were used, abused, humiliated, disrespected? You don't want that. For that not to happen, you need to be with the right man. And in order to be with the right man, you have to cultivate in yourself self-love, self-respect, self-value, self-acceptance. Because narcissists, manipulators, psychopaths of all levels, they cannot deal with such a woman. They cannot press any buttons of fear, self-esteem, low self-esteem, they press all those buttons and she just doesn't react to it. She throws him out of her life. This is your protection against the wrong man. Self-love, self-respect, self-value, self-acceptance, self. You are one with your God. Whoever you believe, whatever God you believe, you're not separated from God. God is not out there. You are inside of God, like Matryoshka doll. Matryoshka has a smaller Matryoshka, has a smaller Matryoshka. The smallest one is your physical body. The biggest one is God. You are inside of God. You are one with whatever God you believe. And when you allow a man treat you wrong, you treat your God wrong. It's a sin. This is your biggest sin, if sins exist. When you allow yourself treat yourself wrong, I'm worthless, I am not deserving nothing, you are treating your God wrong. Because you and your God is one. You say bad things about yourself, you are saying bad things about God you believe. You allow someone else's treat you wrong. You allow someone else treat your God wrong because you are creation of your God and you are one with your God, whatever God you believe. Don't let yourself treat yourself wrong and anyone else treat you wrong. If you love and respect your God, you love and respect you because you are a creation of your God and you are one with your God. That is all I wanted to say. Namaste.